Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into something absolutely crucial, a highly specific, no-nonsense roadmap straight from Jack Ma. We're looking at his exact blueprint for completely transforming your life in just a single summer. We're not talking about some convoluted 50-step program here, okay? This is a focused 3-month sprint designed to literally change everything.
So let's just rip the Band-Aid off and ask the really hard question. Where exactly did your last summer go? Like, did you just blink and suddenly it was June, and then you blinked again and bam, it was September? And you were the exact same you, dealing with the exact same problems, holding on to the exact same dreams, and, doing the exact same waiting. Waiting for that perfect moment, or maybe waiting for someone to just hand you a chance. But here's the thing we all know deep down. Time definitely doesn't wait for us.
All right, here's our blueprint for today. 1. The 90-day opportunity. 2. June, plant the seed. 3. July, water the seed. 4. August, pick the fruit. And 5. The September transformation.
Part 1. The 90-day opportunity.
Now you might be wondering, why this specific 3-month time frame? Why does it work so much better than those typical goal-setting methods we've all tried and, let's be honest, completely abandoned? Well, Jack Ma perfectly contrasts our typical timelines here. Why not a year? Simple. A year is just way too far away. It basically gives our brains permission to perpetually procrastinate. Your brain says, oh, I'll start tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year, and we all know next year basically means never. On the flip side, why not just 30 days? Because 30 days just isn't enough time to forge lasting change. Actually, as Jack Ma points out, you simply can't rush real transformation. It's like, well, it takes 9 months to have a baby, right? You can't make a baby in 3 months by putting 3 mothers on the job. It just doesn't work that way.
The real secret here lies in the actual science behind habit formation. Research proves it takes exactly 66 days to build a real habit. Not 21, but 66. So a 90-day window? It's the absolute perfect catalyst. It's long enough to create genuine, fundamental change, but short enough that you feel this daily sense of urgency. These 90 days are yours, and absolutely nobody else can use them for you.
Looking at the timeline, you can see how this creates a really nice, continuous, sequential roadmap. We're breaking this down into 3 distinct phases, where you have exactly 1 focused job per month. No confusion, no overwhelm. Just 1 single objective at a time.
Part 2. June. Plant the seed. So your only objective in month 1 is to identify and plant a single solitary seed. Notice I said single there. Most people completely fail in the summer because they fall into the trap of making this crazy 20-item checklist. You know the drill. They want to learn a language, get totally in shape, save a ton of money, read 10 books, wake up at 5 a.m., start a business, the whole shebang. And the result? They finish absolutely none of it. You cannot water 20 seeds at the same time. You need 1 seed for all your water and all your attention. To find your 1 seed, you have to write down the answers to these 3 specific clarifying questions. First, what is the one thing that if I do it this summer will change everything else? Second, what have I been putting off for the last 6 months that I absolutely know I need to start? And third, if I look back at September and feel genuinely proud, what exactly did I do? Your answer, right there, that is your seed.
Once you have that answer, you need to literally write it down on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere you're going to see it every single morning. Because as this super powerful quote reminds us, daily visual reinforcement actively shapes our identity. What you see every day, you become.
And your only execution step for this first month? It's delightfully simple. Just wake up 30 minutes earlier than normal. That's it. Carve out those 30 strictly focused minutes every single morning exclusively for your seed. Put the phone away. Seriously, no social media. Just 30 minutes on your seed every day. It sounds super simple, right? Well, it's definitely not easy, but I promise you it is completely worth it.
Part 3. July, water the seed.
Okay, as we roll into month 2, that initial excitement definitely starts to fade and the real challenge begins. June felt new and exciting. It kind of felt like hope. But in July, the heat really arrives. Your brain is going to start telling you it's way too hard and that you should just stop. When you hit that wall, you absolutely cannot rely on motivation. Jack Ma realized this when he was building Alibaba, having months with 0 money coming in and people literally laughing at him. He realized motivation is just a guest. It visits and then it leaves. You can't force it to stay. Discipline, however, that's the reliable family that lives with you every single day, through the absolute best days and the worst.
Because motivation pulls a disappearing act on us, you need a solid system. Specifically, this strict 3-rule July system. First up, a non-negotiable minimum 20-minute daily promise. Even on your absolute most tired days, you give 20 minutes to your seed. Why? Because 20 minutes of focus work every day totally beats 3 hours of distracted work once a week. Second rule, find a mentor. Find someone doing what you want to do, not to copy them, but to literally borrow their belief. Seeing someone else actually achieve it changes your brain's whole response from impossible to possible. And third, the 10-minute Friday reflection. Every Friday evening, just sit quietly and ask yourself what you did well and what you can do better. Reflective people live like they're directing the movie of their life, while ordinary people live like they're just sitting in the audience watching it happen to them.
The absolutely crucial point here is that you have a really stark choice to make during this grueling month. You can either push through the temporary sweat right now in July, or you can face the much, much longer-lasting regret in September. The sweat is temporary. The regret, that lasts. Choose the sweat.
Part 4, August. Pick the fruit.
Now we've made it to month 3. This is where your relentless, sweaty discipline finally starts to yield fruit. Even if it's just one tiny little thing that worked, these small results give you what Jack Ma calls proof. And possessing actual proof that you can succeed is vastly more powerful than any external encouragement you could ever get. Proof is stronger than motivation. It's stronger than advice. And guys, it's even stronger than money. It's the irrefutable evidence that you, specifically, have what it takes.
So in August, your job is to go bigger. Do not, I repeat, do not start a new project. Most people fail because they start something new every single month and end up with a bunch of half-finished projects. The real money and the real results are in finishing, going all the way. You've got to escalate your daily effort from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Work 6 days a week. And most importantly, share one result with the world. Post a video, write a post, share your work. Even if absolutely nobody watches it at first, the act of sharing takes your dream out of your head and forces it to meet the real world, because things in the real world actually grow.
Part 5, the September transformation. Let's look at the really profound payoff when these 90 days finally wrap up. Close your eyes for a second and just imagine this. The summer is over. Your friends come back from their holidays exactly the same as when they left. They rested, they scrolled on their phones, and literally nothing changed. But if you follow the blueprint from this explainer, you're going to return fundamentally different. You'll be armed with permanent, irrefutable proof of your execution. You're going to possess a brand new skill or a concrete result you didn't even have back in June. And you will carry this quiet, unshakable confidence that absolutely nobody can take away from you.
And we know for a fact this works because Jack Ma himself utilized this exact same ethos. I mean, he came from nothing, no money, no help. He had summers exactly like the one we just mapped out, where he explicitly chose to build while everyone else chose to rest. Those really hard months of choosing the sweat over the regret literally forged the foundation of Alibaba. This summer can build something pretty incredible for you, too, a much better version of you. So here's what we're going to do. Grab a notebook right now, today, not tomorrow, not next Monday. Answer those 3 questions, find your one single seed, and ask yourself this final vital question. When September arrives, will you look back and say, that was the summer I finally stopped waiting? The next 90 days are yours. Good luck, and see you in September.